Welcome to my new favorite country in the African continent, South Africa. Let's go. Hello and welcome to South Africa, country number 83 on the road to 100. In this video, I'm flying into Cape Town, spending a week there, and then surprising my girlfriend with a trip to Kruger for her birthday, Kruger National Park. It's one of the most famous national parks in all of Africa, and also Insta360 sent me their brand new Ace Pro 2 camera to try out during my travels for this trip. So I'm going to use this as much as I can during the adventures on this trip. So without further ado, let's get into this new country. Let's go. Welcome to South Africa, a country I've been wanting to go to for many years, and our first stop is to go see the South African penguins. We have arrived to Boulder Beach, and this is where the South African penguin colony is that we saw our first one. Right there. So here we are at Boulder Beach, a place where you can just walk around with the penguins, and
oh my gosh,
they don't take much notice of you, and they just carry on their cute little way. Penguins have just got to be the world's favorite bird because they're so awkward and dopey on the land. Even though they're amazing swimmers, they're just so cute and cuddly. There's nothing not to like about them. So after hanging out with them for a few hours, it was time to let them go up and roost in their nests for the night and go to sleep. How incredible was that? Like so close to the city and so easy to access, and we got to spend hours with penguins
everywhere.
Oh, it was amazing. Make sure if you come to Boulder Beach that you wait until the end of the day, because then they all come in from feeding and they come and go back to the little places up there on the hill to kind of sleep for the night. So when we came here in the 3 o'clock, there was nothing, couldn't see any, and then late in the afternoon, then they came up. It was amazing. What an incredible experience. That brings us to our next day, which is another adventure, and we're climbing Lion's Head. Here we are at the trailhead of Lion's Head. This is where we parked. Stunning view already. Let's begin. This is one of Cape Town's most popular hikes, only around 2 hours to get to the top, but it provides an incredible view over top of the city and the shoreline. And as we were beginning our hike, we were noticing that the clouds were starting to cover over top of the peak, and we were beginning to wonder whether or not the top would have any view at all. But we kept on going because why not? And look at these little staples in the wall. This hike is so fun.
look at this. How does it just grow out of the rock like that?
Pretty impressive what trees can do.
Amazing.
So even though most of my hike up, I couldn't see a thing, the clouds passed as we got to the top, and sure enough, there was this beautiful cloud inversion. Talk about a stroke of luck. I can only dream of having inversions like this, never mind over Cape Town of all places. I can't believe it. I thought we were going to get completely sucked in by clouds. Cloud inversion.
Unbelievable.
Stop it. Just take a moment to enjoy this beautiful inversion as the sun goes down on an epic hike. I can't believe my luck. Got up here, the sun starts setting, cleared, amazing view. Oh, and now it's covered in again. Unbelievable luck. The people walking up the trail told me, don't go up, it's not worth it, can't see anything. View of a lifetime. Unbelievable. Okay, time to write down. The next day we rented a car to drive one of the most famous roads in the world, Chapman's Peak.
Woo, look at this. Wow. This drive is insane. Okay, the only bad thing is me driving on the wrong side of the road. Twice now I've pulled out from these lookouts and driven on the wrong side. I'm working on it.
Regardless of a biker swearing at me and another driver honking his horn because I almost drove into him, we made it safely to our next destination. So we're driving along the Chapman's Peak Drive. It's a tolled road. It's one of the most beautiful drives in the world. And there's so many spots you can pull off on the side of the road and check it out. And here's one spot called Whit Beach, or Whit Sand, I forget now, but it's basically all this beautiful white sand. And we stopped here and We're by ourselves. There's no one here. It's amazing. And yeah, we got some clips. Check it out. It's so nice.
Right after a day of driving down the Cape in Table Mountain National Park, it should have taken us, what, like an hour and a half to get here, and it took us like 5. But it was a beautiful ride, of course. Amazing. And now we're here in the Cape of Good Hope, and we're about 2 minutes away, and we saw an ostrich. Look at this. Boom, an ostrich right in our sights. Very, very cool to see as we headed down to the Cape of Good Hope. I've only read about the Cape of Good Hope in my geography textbooks growing up, so it's very cool to finally be here and also see an ostrich. Here it is. There's the official sign. And there's also a bunch of Cape fur seals hanging out on the rocks just off the shore. And then I had to show Iris all of these bugs crawling all over the sea kelp, which wasn't great.
Look at the bugs on it.
Ew! That's disgusting.
I have to say that was something out of a horror movie. All right, now it's time to climb Chapman's Peak. We are going up to Chapman's Peak to get a view over that beautiful area that we drove by. And this is the part of the video where I'm going to film as much as possible with the Ace Pro 2 and see how it stands up as a good travel camera. For example, here's the before and after of using the horizon lock in the Insta360 Studio. That is quite the difference. All right, we made it to the top of Chapman's Peak and it is an incredible view. So we did a couple hand and voice gestures to the Ace Pro 2. For example, raising your hand begins the filming, which saves you having to reach and touch the record button, especially if you have the shot already perfectly framed. Alright, I definitely had to pop my drone up to get a shot of this stunning surrounding. Wow, Cape Town coast is truly one of a kind and in a class all of its own. Just look at that road as we're going to head back on it now. The sun is setting and we've enjoyed an incredible day along the windy coast of Cape Town. The next morning, we woke up early to head to Aquila Game Reserve, where we're going to see some animals. All right, we have arrived to Aquila Nature Reserve, and right away we jumped on a horseback to see if we could go spot some big animals. And for this section, we'll be filming almost exclusively on the Ace Pro 2 and seeing how good of shots we can get with an action camera on a safari. There's another example of the horizon lock feature, and all of these shots were taken in 4K 60 FPS with the option to slow them down in post if I want. So here's a wind test. It's very windy right now. The Ace Pro 2 has a windscreen built into the front, so I wonder how my voice sounds right now. This is absolutely wild. There are 4 rhinos, including a baby, over there. Iris, you just saw rhinos on your first ever African safari? It took me like 7 safaris to see it. Oh, 1 rhino. That's incredible. Very lucky that Iris got to see rhinos right away. And also check how good the stabilization is handheld on the horseback, which is pretty bumpy. All right, we just got the horses and now we're going for our first safari ride. Let's go explore this park by a safari vehicle. Alright, so here's an example of the 2x clarity zoom even while recording. Here's 1x, click the button, there's 2x. First time I've seen that on an action cam. And here's an example of the mega view while a lion was approaching our vehicle. Wow. I'm honestly pretty impressed how an action cam performed on a safari of all things. And check it out in low light in the pure video mode. Not bad. Now, here's the real mind bender. We took this shot using the Starlapse mode at night. That's pretty cool. All right, the next day we jumped on 4x4s to check out this park in a different type of way, and I would say there's no better way to capture an experience like this than with an action camera. Like, you're not going to pull out your DSLR while you're bouncing around on one of these. Okay, now that wraps it up for our Aquila Game Reserve experience. Time to head back to Cape Town.
There they are.
So after a morning of checking out the Cape Fur seals, it was time to head over to Cape Town Heli.
I am very excited because we're doing a helicopter ride over Cape Town, but I don't know if you're excited. Ours is deadly afraid of heights.
Here we are. We are doing this route.
I am so excited to check out Cape Town from the sky, and this helicopter has no doors.
My first ever doorless helicopter. Oh my gosh. Are you alive or what?
Haha, that's the definition of speechless. And that's a wrap on using the Ace Pro 2. I definitely had a blast using it, and now it's going to be a staple camera in my camera bag. And if you're interested, check the link in my description for more information on the camera. And now, after that incredible heli experience, it's time to head back to Boulder Beach to do some free diving.
Right now, we've made it back to Boulder Beach, and we are gonna go diving in the sea kelp forests. I've seen this online lots, and it looks so cool, and I love free diving, so let's go see what it's like to dive amongst these trees in the water. We are with the local legend, Chris!
Let's go dive the kelp forest.
Man, you guys already look cold.
So I got all suited up in my wetsuit, ready to brace the South African cold ocean.
Oh my gosh, it's so cold! Ah, this literally feels like ice diving in Canada. It's so cold.
However, despite the cold temperatures, the kelp forest was extremely beautiful. On this day, the visibility wasn't the greatest, however, you still got the feeling of actually floating through a forest, which was amazing.
All right, we just got out of the water, just got changed. That was freezing, but really cool experience diving amongst the kelp. It really truly did feel like a forest, kind of swaying with the current, going back and forth. That was a lot of fun. But that is it now for our Cape Town experience. That was a really, really amazing time. I can't believe how amazing the weather was, to say it was sort of off season. Now this is definitely my new favorite city in Africa. Like, Cape Town is truly unbelievable. Such an amazing city, such cheap prices, but stunning, stunning beauty. Like, reminds me of like Vancouver Coast, Rio, Hawaii. So many like reminders all in this fun little city. Now for the next 3 days, we are off to Kruger National Park. I cannot wait for this national park. It's one of the best in Africa for wildlife. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna surprise Iris for her birthday. She doesn't know where we're going, and we're actually gonna go to Kruger. So that'll be the next couple of days. All right, that's it for Cape Town. I'm devastated to leave here. I love this place so much. I can't wait to come back. And let's go enjoy the last few days of South Africa at Kruger National Park.
Where are we going?
Birthday weekend.
You don't know where we're going.
So even though we went to Aquila Game Reserve, that was a little bit different, as those are adopted animals brought into the park, whereas Kruger is the animal's natural habitat. So this is authentic as it gets.
Do you want to take a guess where we are?
A safari.
Kruger.
No way.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
land in it.
Yeah.
This
I
is
thought there was a giraffe up there.
Kruger National Park.
And right away the moment we landed, there's a giraffe right outside the airport, as well as monkeys running on the check-in counter. So we arrived to the Royal Malawan Lodge and checked into our beautiful room.
What do you think?
So wow, we just got to the Royal Malawan, and this place is wow.
Look at this, our own private pool, outdoor shower, sunroom, watering hole. This is incredible.
What an incredible room overlooking the African bush. And then we had lunch while a couple of Inyalas were staring at us eating. And then it was time to go explore. Now we are heading out on our first game drive in Kruger National Park. Kruger National Park, I think, has to be the most famous park in the world. Like Serengeti, Kruger, they're definitely competitive for the top one. So very excited to be out here and experience it with Iris because it's their first ever real African safari. Let's go. So here's the vehicle. Here's Conrad, our guide.
Hey guys,
What are you holding?
so this is my rifle.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at all this ammunition on the hip. Okay, what are you doing with that?
It's always good to have this with us just from a safety point of
Safety.
view, especially when we get out of the vehicle to maybe go and track an animal.
Right.
If we maybe doing a bit of a walking safari,
Perfect.
that sort of thing. Safety first.
All right. It is officially time to experience the authentic African bush in Kruger National Park, one of the best national parks in Africa for spotting wildlife and seeing all sorts of diversity in the flora and fauna. Here's our tracker Kevin and our guide Conrad, and of course the birthday girl Iris. We just got back from our safari walk and that was really cool. A tower of 15 giraffes staring at us. That was definitely the highlight. So cool. Just having lunch and staring at a giraffe and a kudu while having lunch. This lodge is so epically located right in the heart of like the park, and so many animals just keep coming up while we're having lunch. So incredible. After lunch, we headed back out for another game drive, and I saw something I've never seen before. A wild female leopard in her natural habitat. And also her cub as well. In my opinion, this has to be the most beautiful animal in all of Africa. Also, it had just killed an impala and was eating it up in the tree. That was a crazy sight to see. Then right after this mom and cub leopard, we saw a pride of lions. These two male lions are actually brothers, and they're the kings in this area. They completely dominate the territory, and no other males can step in this area without a fight. And we were lucky enough to see them patrolling and marking their territory. Truly incredible. And that is a wrap on our Royal Malawian Kruger African National Park experience. It was time to head back to the lodge, have a little bit of cake for Iris's birthday, and then say farewell to such an incredible place and country. I have to say that after traveling to several African countries, that this place is now definitely my favorite. There's so much to see and do in South Africa, and I only feel like I just scratched the surface. This is a country that I know I'll have to come back and travel some more. Also, trying out the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 while traveling was a cool experience. I'm stoked to continue using it in future travel videos. Link in my description if you want to check it out. South Africa, what a treat. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.